morning, everyone. I am Pradeep Hirapure. Today we are going to start here the column chromatography. In previous lecture, we discussed about the planar chromatography and we studied about the two example. There is a paper chromatography and thin layer chromatography. Now today we are going to discuss about the gel filtration chromatography. But before going to discuss about the gel filtration chromatography, first of all you should know about the column chromatography. Gel filtration chromatography is a type of column chromatography. Now in column chromatography we required one tube like structure or tubing like structure that is known as a column, and this column should be filled with the stationary medium. Okay, mostly this stationary medium nothing but the inert material. Okay, and that stationary material or that stationary medium poured into the column and fill this column properly, and after that you have to put your sample on the top layer of that stationary medium, and then you have to add the mobile phase, that is a solvent system. Okay, now whenever the solvent system travel toward the bottom side or downward direction, at that time whatever the molecule present in your mixture, that molecules, every molecules start to interact with the mobile phase and stationary phase. Now there is a different types of phenomena. Some molecule having a van der Waals force attraction in between the stationary medium and molecule. Some molecule having ionic attraction. Some molecule adsorb on the surface of stationary medium, or some molecule having a hydrophobic and hydrophilic interaction. So there is a different types of forces involved in this separation. Okay, so depending upon the chemical nature of your molecule start to interact with the stationary medium and mobile phase. Now in planar chromatography there is a one term, that is a retardation factor. Okay, so to analyze your sample, to analyze your molecule, you have to determine the retardation factor or RF value in planar chromatography. But in column chromatography there is a new term, that is retention time. Now we have to determine the retention time when we perform the column chromatography in laboratory. So that retention time means what? So from this location, whenever your molecules start to travel toward the downward direction with the help of mobile phase, if your molecule highly interact with the stationary phase as compared to this green and brown, so that molecule slowly migrate through this column. And if your molecule less interactive with the stationary phase as compared to the other molecules, then that molecules move fastly through this column. So whatever the molecule which move slowly just due to the interaction of that molecule with the stationary medium is high, and such type of molecules travels toward the bottom side of this column very slowly, and it will take a very long time to come out from this column. Okay, so this time known as retention time. Okay, so each and every molecule having its own retention time within this column. So retention time nothing but the time of sample or molecule come out from the column. Okay, so whatever the sample come out from this column, that process known as a elution. Okay, and if this out of these three, suppose you are interested in blue type of molecules or these molecules, So initially the brown molecule comes out. So this is the elution process, but we are interested into the blue. This is not our target molecule, okay, in which we are not interested to separate from this mixture. So that's why this type of elution process known as a non-specific elution. But if your target molecule comes out from this column, for example here green, and this green is a target molecule, so this type of elution known as a specific elution. Why? Because in the elution process our target molecule comes out from the column and we can collect it with the help of collecting tubes. Okay, so this is all about the column chromatography. Now we will start here the gel filtration chromatography. This gel filtration chromatography is a type of column chromatography. Here also we required the column, and that column then we filled with the help of gel beads. Okay, now this gel filtration chromatography, also known as the molecular exclusion chromatography. Okay, now what is actually the molecular exclusion? There is a two terms, molecular exclusion and molecular inclusion. Okay, so in gel filtration chromatography, this column should be packed with the gel beads, spherical beads, gel beads we have. So that gel beads pour into the column, and at the top layer there is application of sample. Now from that sample, the some molecule having ability to pass through this gel beads, because gel beads also porous in nature, but there is a limitation because due to the pore diameter of that beads. Okay, so larger molecule unable to pass through that gel beads, but smaller molecule can transfer or can pass through that gel beads. Okay, so if your molecule travel through the gel beads, that is known as a molecular inclusion. And if the larger molecule unable to pass through that gel beads, but that molecule, a large molecule, traveled in between the gel beads. Okay, so the space available in between the gel beads, through that space your molecule, larger molecule, can travel, and such type of phenomena known as a molecular exclusion. Okay, so that's why this chromatography also known as a molecular exclusion chromatography. This filtration chromatography also known as a gel permeation chromatography, because whatever the stationary medium we put into the column during gel filtration chromatography, so ultimately that stationary medium nothing but the spherical beads, gel beads. Okay, and they are porous in nature. So due to the porous in nature, your sample can pass through that column. Okay, so that's why that chromatography known as a gel permeation chromatography. Now in gel filtration chromatography, whatever the mobile phase we use, that is liquid ultimately, and the stationary phase, which is mostly the gel beads, spherical gel beads. Now this gel filtration chromatography able to separate the molecules according to the differences in size as they pass through a gel filtration medium packed in column. This gel filtration chromatography totally differ from the ion exchange chromatography and affinity chromatography, because in ion exchange chromatography there is a ionic attractions and there is a exchange of ion. Affinity chromatography based on the affinity force in between the pairing molecules like antigen antibody, complementary DNA molecules, enzyme and substrate. So in our nature there is some pair molecules. So there is always specific affinity force in between the pair molecule. For example, the affinity force in antigen and antibody. Specific antigen always bind to the specific antibody. So such type of affinity force involved in the chromatographic separation, and that technique known as affinity chromatography. But in gel filtration chromatography, the molecule separated based on the shape and size. Larger molecule fastly come out from the column and smaller molecule take longer time to come out from the column. Okay. This gel filtration chromatography again depends upon the partition coefficient. Now what is actually the partition coefficient? Partition coefficient nothing but the distribution of your sample molecules into the two different phases, because in this gel filtration chromatography there is also the two different types of phases, stationary phase and mobile phase. So whenever we perform the gel filtration chromatography, how your sample molecule distributed into these two phases. Okay, so partition coefficient denoted by the Kd is equal to molar concentration of analyte in a stationary phase and molar concentration of analyte in a mobile phase. Now we are going to discuss about the basic principle of gel filtration chromatography. So in this gel filtration chromatography we required the cylindrical tubing that is known as a column of chromatography. Okay. Now this column should be filled with the gel bits, right? So you can see here this one is the spherical gel bits. Okay. So this spherical gel bits we pour into the column. Okay, and filled that column totally with the gel bits. Okay, now after that you have to apply your sample at the top layer. Okay, and start to pour the mobile phase. Okay, so this one is the solvent system and this one is the mobile phase, and through this tubing the mobile phase actually start to run through this column. Okay, now this column already filled with the gel bits. Okay, now we're going to discuss about how your molecule travel through the gel bits and how your molecule travels in between the gel bits. Now we can see here in our sample there is a three different types of molecules. For understanding purpose we denoted by this color. So purple color is the smallest one, green one is moderate, and yellow is the largest one. Okay, now what happens, this purple color molecule when travels toward the bottom side, at that time this purple color molecules can migrated through this gel bits. Okay, you can see here the purple color molecule pass through this gel bits because the diameter of this molecule is very suitable with that of this pore diameter. But on the other hand there is a yellow molecule, that yellow molecule unable to pass through this pore. Why? Because the diameter of this molecule or size of this molecule is very big as compared to the pore diameter, and that's why this molecule excluded. Okay, and transfer through the space in between the gel bits. Okay, so, so you can see here, so this yellow and green molecules travels through the space in between the gel bits. Okay, and such type of molecules fastly move through this column and comes first from this column. Okay, but the purple color molecules travels through the bits, and from one bit to the another bits it will take a longer time into the column. So the retention time for the purple color is very large as compared to the yellow and green. So in this way the gel filtration chromatography able to separate the different molecule based on their size and shape. Okay, now in gel filtration chromatography we require the stationary medium or stationary phase. So that stationary phase nothing but the gel bits. Mostly we use the gelling agent to prepare the gel bits. Okay, so that gel bits semi permeable in nature, porous, with well defined range of pore size. Okay, so if you prepare the gel bits of proper concentration of gelling agent, so we can control the pore size also. If the high concentrations of gelling agent if you use to prepare the gel bits, so the porosity will be decreased, and the lower concentration of gelling agent if used to prepare the gel bits, the pore size will be increased. Okay, so bits are cross-linked polymer, means agarose, acrylamide, polyacrylamide, starch, Sapadex, dextrin. So these are the gelling agent routinely utilized in a gel filtration chromatography to prepare the gel bits. So these molecules can cross-link to each other and form a porous medium. Okay, smaller pore size are used for rapid desalting proteins or protein purification. If you have a sample of protein and if there is a contamination, there is any salt, so you can remove that salt with the help of smaller pore size beads. Okay, intermediate pore size are used to separate the relatively small proteins. So in our market nowadays the ready-made gel filtration chromatography specific beads are available with a specific pore size. As per your requirement you can order the specific gel bits of specific pore size. A good stationary phase should have a following properties. आपका जो भी स्टेशनरी मीडियम है उसके कुछ क्राइटेरिया है. So your gel bits should be chemically inert. So whatever the material we utilize to prepare the gel bits, it should be the chemically inert. Why? Because whatever the molecules you want to separate it with the help of this gel filtration chromatography, at that time your stationary medium should not be react with your mobile phase. Okay, it should be chemically inert. It should be inexpensive. It should not react with the component to be separated. It should not react with the eluent. Whatever the mobile phase or eluent solvent you utilize to separate these molecules, so your stationary medium, stationary material should not react with that. It should be the colorless, uniform in size and shape. It should be mechanically stable. So basically, whatever the gel or gelling agent utilized for the preparation of gel bits, the gels categorized into the three types: soft gel, semi-rigid gel, and highly rigid gel. So dextran or Cepedex polyacrylamide gel are the example of soft gel, and BioBits, that is comes under the semi-rigid gels, and gels are glasses separation. Glass bits also available in market. Uh, so that glass bits and gel bits which are very rigid in nature, that is comes into the highly rigid. Now what type of mobile phase we utilize in this gel filtration chromatography? So here also the liquid used to dissolve the biomolecule to make the mobile phase is usually called as a buffer. So the mixture of biomolecule should be dissolved in the mobile phase. The choice of mobile phase to be used in any separation will depends on the type of separation to be achieved and component to be separated. So selection of mobile phase totally depends upon what type of molecules you want to separate. It is proteins, it is nucleic acid, or any other molecule. Depending upon the nature of your molecules, you have to select the proper mobile phase. The commonly utilized mobile phase in a gel filtration chromatography, these are tetrahydrofuran, chloroforms, dimethyl formides. Your gel filtration column should have some characteristics. Your column should be shorter to save the time and solvent. If your column is very long, so it will take long time to separate your molecules, as well as we required the larger volume of solvent. Small particles provide a better resolutions. On the other hand, 5 mm to 3 mm packings are more sensitive toward the contamination by samples containing impurities. So if you want to remove the contaminants from your sample, you can use the 5 mm to 3 mm pore size. Particles are large, as 20 mm have been recommended for very high molecular weight polymer. If your molecule is very big in size, so you can use the 20 mm pore size. Columns with different porosity or mixed bed columns provide a better separation. Advantages of this chromatography: short analysis time. This chromatography required very short time duration to analyze any molecule or sample. Well defined separation, narrow bands and good sensitivity. There is no sample loss. Small amount of mobile phase required, and the flow rate can be set. Disadvantages of this chromatography: limited number of peaks that can be resolved within the short time scale of the gel filtration run. So if you run the gel filtration chromatography for a short time, within that time the few peaks only detected. This one is the disadvantages of this chromatography. And other disadvantages are filtration must be performed before using the instrument to prevent dust and particle from running the columns and interfering with the detectors. So if anyone performed gel filtration chromatography previously, so there is a chance some molecules, some contaminants or some stress material remain as it is into that gel filtration column. So if you want to perform the gel filtration chromatography, at that time you should first of all wash that column to remove all the unnecessary unwanted particulate matter present inside the columns. And if there is a no any contaminant, then you can use that column for the separation of your molecule. So this one is the time consuming process, and that's why this one is the disadvantages of this gel filtration chromatography. The gel filtration chromatography mostly utilized for the protein fractionation. If you want to fractionate the protein sample, then you can use the gel filtration chromatography. This chromatography technique utilized to purify the viruses, enzymes, hormones, nucleic acids from the mixtures. Molecular weight determination means if you have a globular protein in your sample, so you have to determine the molecular weight of that protein. So for that purpose you can perform the gel filtration chromatography. This chromatography also utilized to separation of sugar, protein, peptides, rubbers and other on the basis of their size. This technique can be determine the quaternary structure of purified proteins. So you can determine the quaternary structure of any proteins also. Gel filtration chromatography is a widely used technique for the purification and analysis of synthetic and biological polymers such as protein, polysaccharides and nucleic acid. These techniques also utilized for the separation of RNA and viruses have been purified using agar gels, and this gel filtration chromatography technique also utilized for the desalting of sample. If any sample having a salt, so you can remove that salt with the help of this gel filtration chromatography. Thank you.